16 to 25 is at 53%, and 26 to 34 is about 59.5%. The rest of the age groups are well above 70 in their percentages. We are doing vaccine events. We have weekly vaccine clinics, both at our office here in Wamsville, as well as our site that we continue to hold in Oneida, North Oneida. And we're roughly getting about 13 to 20 individuals in each of those walking in. A lot of them are just walking in, they're not even registering. So that's good. We still get a trickle into those. We are holding vaccination events at the Balkville Antique Festival, that I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for those at the DeRuyter Farmers Fair. Is that the correct term for it? I believe we're going to be there Friday night. We're going to be there one of the days on that event. Saturday, thank you. Saturday. We're also looking at our zip codes in our county and identifying those zip codes with the lowest percent vaccinated, and the 3 zip codes that represent that is North Brookfield, West Eaton, and Peterborough. So we are actually reaching out to those. I've reached out to those supervisors in those areas, and we're working together to try to identify either a business or someone that can help us put together some targeted vaccination pods.
Cliff needs to go door to door.
What's that?
Cliff needs to go door to door.
We can probably do that. In terms of testing, we're that we still have pretty much all the pharmacies in this area continue to do testing, as well as the WellNow and the 2 hospitals through their urgent care and some of the providers' offices are testing. We're only averaging about 195 tests per day, so that's one of the reasons our percent positive may be a little higher than normal. Other than that, we do have a brief technical problem with our website, in case anyone's asking. For some reason, the town of Lenox and the town of Stockbridge, the numbers aren't adding up when we run the daily data. I apologize for that. I'm the one doing it because Erica, my health statistician, she's out on maternity leave. So we're trying to figure out and get that corrected. So I have a call with the software company tomorrow. Hopefully they can help me work through that. So, but all the other data on the website is correct. It's just those 2 townships. Their numbers aren't, for some reason, not displaying properly. So that's it.
Any questions for Eric, Mary?
We are trying to work on an incentive. I don't know if Sam can speak to that better than I can. But where'd she go somewhere? Oh, yeah, the roadside, is it tavern or inn? Has agreed to help us in West Eden to hold an event, but as to the incentives, I'll leave that to Sam to discuss.
Yeah. We are working with the Roadside Inn on working on a clinic there and an incentive, probably a shot for a shot type idea. We're working out the details with that establishment right now. We'll have details to follow.
And that will go over big for the 12 to 17-year-olds that we're trying to get.
We were actually thinking wings instead, actually, because wings, if anybody's heard, wings are hard to come by. So if you can get wings, we thought more people would do it, actually. So we're tossing around different ideas.
Okay, Ms. Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Eric, we haven't heard a lot about natural immunity from already having the COVID. Do you have any stats on people that are getting reinfected or a positive after already having it?
I probably could. I'd have to go into the data and look at that, because there's kind of the guidance that we get from CDC is that if you get reinfected within 90 days of your first infection, it's still part of that initial infection. So we'd have to see how many people got infected after 90 days from the first time.
Okay.
We have that information. I just don't have.
I just was curious in this next round, this uptick, if there's anybody that's already been infected with COVID that is getting it again.
Right.
You don't know.
I would assume yes, but I would have to look. To see
Okay.
if that's
Didn't know if we were just tracking it or not.
the data is in the system. We weren't looking at it that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
They want you to put your mic on. Right.
Eric, some of the nearby counties have required masks again. What would trigger Madison County to initiate that?
Nothing. You're on your own. You can use your own brain, be responsible for yourself, and be independent.
My
And
question
not
was,
have Big Brother tell us what to do all the
my
time.
question was to Eric.
Oh. I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents in.
I got it.
So at this point, the CDC recommendations are recommendations. They're not even mandating it. We recommend that, and we strongly encourage people to follow CDC recommendations. I don't think a mask mandate. I mean, we've been doing this for 18 months now. People know you have to wearing a mask, social distancing, getting a shot, staying home when you're sick, are all things that you can do to minimize risk. I think at this point in time, we're basically saying, you know what you need to do, follow it. And from the surrounding counties, I'm not sure they're not necessarily mandating the general public. I think Onondaga is mandating their county employees. So the county health departments aren't issuing mandates for masks at this time. And speaking to other counties, they don't intend to.
The only one I'm aware of right now, I think Tompkins County did issue a mandate for masks, but other than that, I think there's 52 counties right now in the state that meet the substantial transmission threshold. And I think only Tompkins is the only county that I've heard that is used. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Eric, where do you stand with schools and who's given those people directions?
I stand behind the schools. No, we actually, the school board, the school superintendents and some of the school board members and our Board of Health actually had a conference call last night. The Board of Health and the Health Department recommended to the school districts that they adopt CDC's guidelines for schools. We cannot mandate them to do that. From the discussion we had last night, it appeared that each of the school districts will be adopting the CDC guidance. Their questions were more to how far is 3 feet between desks measured from the center of the desk or from the edges. That was their type of question. It wasn't so much adopting the guidance as it was the nuance of implementing it. So we'll be working with them to help them kind of define those specific metrics.
Does it look like masks will be required?
If they follow CDC guidelines, then yes.
Eric, I have a question. Do we have any data on whether or not there's going to be approval for a vaccine for people under 12?
My understanding that those trials are still ongoing from 6 months to 11. I heard the last time I heard anything was probably towards the end of the year. They anticipate those vaccines might become available. The only other thing I've heard in regards to vaccines is that within the next couple of weeks, the FDA may be approving the Pfizer, Moderna, or the original vaccines, which May 4th will open up the floodgates for people to mandate where they want to.
Any other questions?
Just one. What percent of the county employees are currently vaccinated?
I don't have that data.
91.
At least 80% as of early May of this year. And I know subsequently more people have gotten vaccinated. So, I mean, this is just gonna be a guess, but I know like on this floor, there's like 40 employees and I know 4 that are not vaccinated just for this building. So I think we're probably in the mid 80s. I think we get into the jail, it's less. But when you look at the office staff, it's a pretty high rate. A minimum of 80, likely more 85, 90%.
Okay, no other questions? Thank you, Eric, as always.
Thank you.
Okay, resolutions.
Resolution number 1, resolution of appreciation, retiree recognition. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolutions are made, seconded by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay, Commissioner, will you come up? We have Marie Anderson from Social Services.
Thank you. Unfortunately, Marie couldn't join us today. She's in Buffalo doing some medical procedures. That was the haste of her retirement. She's been with the department 37 years. Was there when I came, and going to miss her an awful lot. She started over in the building right behind most of us. I'm facing the now public health building, answering the phone and doing our reception, moved up to a social welfare examiner, senior social welfare examiner in the last couple of years as an employment representative, helping folks, achieve as much independence as they could. And Marie was a role model for all of us. She, was born into a pretty poor family, spent quite a bit of time in foster care as a child, started work at DSS as a 19-year-old and spent 37 years with us. And we're certainly going to miss her. She was an inspiration and a great lady. So her retirement's both an honor and kind of a sad moment for all of us. So she's undergoing some pretty serious medical concerns, and we wish her well. So I will make sure she gets this gift, Chairman, and with the board's blessings. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish her well. Okay, next we have Darren Ladd with the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Darren couldn't be here today. He's moved on to greener pastures. He went down to Florida and he's currently setting up a residence down there. So I'll gladly take this gift and I'll get back to him.
Okay, here it is here. And also we have Linda Moore from the Sheriff's Office. She worked from 2007 to 2021 here. This is Linda's. Congratulations.
So Linda had part-time and full-time. She's coming up on 15 years with the agency. When I came in there, some of our frequent flyers back in the jail, I walked through quite frequently and talked to some of the inmates in there, and they said, she is probably the closest I've had to a mother in my life, with the amount of time that they spent in there and caring that she brought back down to the blocks with some of the inmates that never had a real good life. So just that alone is an amazing thing for somebody to say that, how you changed their life. We have a plaque made for you here also. Linda C. Moore in recognition of commitment to a standard of excellence, 2005 to 21. In recognition of your superior contributions to the corrections community during your career with the Office of Madison County Sheriff. During your career, you assisted with the safety and security of the Madison County Correctional Facility with the utmost professionalism, respect, and integrity. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Your contributions were in keeping with the highest standards of the office and the corrections community. Thank you for a job well done. And best of luck in your retirement future, which after speaking to your husband, I understand you're also headed down to Florida. So there you go. And there's that for you. If you'd like to say a few words.
No, it's just been a long time coming and I'm happy to retire. But, I hope somebody carries on. People in the jail, they do need support. They do need understanding. You got to see where they're coming from, but they also need the discipline. And I hope it carries on and somebody will carry it through.
Very good. Okay. Congratulations.
Sure, that goes. Okay.
Ready?
We're ready.
Okay. We'll start with resolutions in the preferred agenda. Resolution number 2, authorizing an agreement with VAR Technology Finance. Resolution 3, authorizing an agreement with Insight Public Sector. Resolution 4, creating a full-time public information specialist position in the Office of County Administrator. And resolution 5, creating a full-time emergency medical services coordinator position in the Emergency Management Office. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolutions are made, seconded by Ms. Norelli. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please. What?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Want to take a minute?
Kavanaugh. Roberts. Maglioka. Corbin. Zupan. Walters.
Aye.
Moses.
Yes.
Jones. Jones.
Give us a thumbs up then, Dave. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Walrod. Schwartz. Goldstein. He's muted too. Thumbs up.
There you
Okay.
go. Okay.
DeVeronica. Norelli. Bono. Cunningham. Stepanski.
Yes.
Becker.
All right.
1,418 ayes. Next, we have Administration Oversight Committee. Resolution 6, changing the date of the September 2021 Board of Supervisors monthly meeting, which will be changed to Thursday, September 16th. Number 7, authorizing agreement with New York State Board of Elections in regards to the Technology, Innovation, and Elections Resource Grant Program and modifying the budget. And number 8, designating disposal of obsolete and/or surplus county personal property. Dave Jones, Chairman, Administration Oversight Committee.
I can say it if you like. I'm
Okay,
the
go
vice
ahead.
chair.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I move these resolutions for adoption, please.
Okay, resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Bono. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that mileage on that dump truck, that's gone around the clock a couple of times.
We don't need to tell anybody that.
We already run the shop for 24,000 miles.
Okay, roll call, please.
Roberts. Maglioka. Corbin. Zupan. Walters. Moses.
Yes.
Jones. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, Dave. I had a baby.
Walrod. Schwartz. Goldstein.
Yes.
There,
There we
right.
go.
DeVeronica. Norelli. Bono. Cunningham. Stepanski.
Yes.
Becker.
All right,
Kavanaugh. 1,418 ayes.
Carried.
Okay, next we have Health and Human Services Committee. Resolution number 9, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for the mental health clinic. Number 10, authorizing an agreement with Family Support in Central New York. And number 11, authorizing an agreement with the Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Grant and modifying the budget. Alex Stepanski, Chairman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of these resolutions.
thank you, Alex. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Maglioka. Corbin. Zupan. Walters.
Aye.
Moses.
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
Yeah, all right. Walrod.
He's on top of the telephone pole.
Schwartz. Goldstein.
Yes.
DeVeronica. Norelli. Bono. Cunningham. Stepanski.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye,
Kavanaugh. Roberts. 1,418 ayes.
Gary.
Planning Committee. Resolution 12, authorizing a contract with New York State Economic Development Community Development Block Grant. Number 13, authorizing an agreement with New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. And number 14, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for the Aquatic Vegetation Project. Cliff Moses, Chairman, Planning Committee.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mr. Maglioka. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Corbin. Zupan. Walters. Moses.
Yes.
Jones.
Thumbs up.
Walrod. Schwartz. Goldstein.
Yes.
All right. DeVeronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts, Maglioka. 1,418 ayes. Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee. Resolution 15, authorizing amendment to an agreement with New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for Raise the Age. Number 16, authorizing an agreement with Wilmac Business Equipment Company. Number 17, authorizing a modification of the 21 budget for Homeland Security. And number 18, approving the Madison County Continuity of Operations Plan. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Zupan,
Yes.
Walters,
Aye.
Moses.
Yes.
Jones,
Thumbs up.
Walrod, Schwartz, Goldstein,
Yes.
DeVeronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts, Maglioka, and Corbin.
Yes.
1,418 ayes.
Carried.
Highway Buildings and Grounds, Resolution 19, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget contingent fund for the sanitary sewer system. Number 20, control of snow and ice on county roads. 21, authorizing an agreement with Barton and LaJudas to design the 3 large size culvert replacements. And 22, authorizing an agreement with King and King Architects. Ron Bono, Chairman, Highway Buildings and Grounds.
Resolution is made, seconded by Mr. DeVeronica. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question
Hold
for,
on here, one at a
okay.
time. Okay, Mr. Goldstein.
Mr. Bono, did your committee discuss the issue of the rising fuel prices and how that would affect the reimbursement?
We did, but the salt prices are less, so that we're doing the same figures last year.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, Ms. Norelli.
Yes, resolution number 22, the third whereas, there's a typo, should be 22,000, I would think.
My original has that corrected.
Okay.
Lauren brought it.
We're all good?
No.
Okay, roll call, please.
Walters. Moses,
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
All right. Walrod, Schwartz, Goldstein,
Yes.
DeVeronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts, Maglioka, Corbin, Zupan, 1,418 ayes.
Carried.
Solid Waste Committee. Authorizing, number 23, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for environmental control landfill. 24, authorizing an agreement with Egan Excavating. And 25, entering into a new standard waste disposal agreement for the term 21 through 23. Jim Goldstein, Chairman, Solid Waste Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mrs. Norelli. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Moses,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Walrod, Schwartz, Goldstein,
Yes.
DeVeronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts, Maglioka, Corbin, Zupan, Walters. 1,418 ayes.
Carried.
And now we go to regular agenda items. Resolution number 26, authorizing the revision of the Madison County Fund Balance Policy. Yvonne Norelli, Chairwoman, Finance Committee.
Mr. Chair, I move this resolution for adoption, please.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion?
Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman,
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Goldstein.
how is this different than the policy we had before? Do we not have a policy?
Yeah.
We had a policy and this is increasing the upper limit of the threshold from 15% to 20%.
Okay,
And one of the reasons why on that is when we were subject to comptroller's audit a few years ago, we were at 16%, so we had to spend down the money.
Okay,
It's gonna be a discussion about having a bigger piggy bank in the unassigned fund balance. And if if you're over 15%, the comptroller's office requires you to spend that money down. So it gives us an ability to have more money, especially in light of the COVID pandemic, when,
Right.
you need those reserves to help out if needed. So we want to keep a higher reserve balance.
okay, thanks a lot, Mark. Makes sense.
Okay, who else had a question? Okay, all right. All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 27, opposing New York State's 94-C Accelerated Renewable Energy Growth and Community Benefits Act. Cliff Moses, Chairman, Planning Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, second by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
aye,
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 28, authorizing attendance in an out-of-state conference for the sheriff. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, second by Mr. Bono. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
aye,
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 29, authorize the chairman to enter into an agreement with the Oneida City School District for the use of special patrol officers. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, second. Second by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 30, authorize the chairman to enter into an agreement with Madison Oneida BOCES for inmate continuing education. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Committee.
Mr. Chairman, move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Corbin. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
aye,
And I'm a no.
Okay. 1,138 ayes.
Carried.
Resolution 31, authorizing the participation in a federal grant and modifying the 21 county budget. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Norelli? Bono? Cunningham? Stepanski?
Yes.
Becker?
No.
Kavanaugh? Roberts? Maglioka? Corbin? Zupan? Walters?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Jones?
Aye.
Walrod?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Goldstein?
yes,
De Veronica? 1,138 ayes.
Carried.
32, authorizing the participation in a federal traffic safety grant and modifying the budget. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bono? Cunningham? Stepanski?
Yes.
Becker?
No.
Kavanaugh? Roberts? Maglioka? Corbin? Zupan? Walters?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Jones?
Aye.
Walrod?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Goldstein?
yes,
De Veronica? Norelli? 1,138 ayes.
Carried.
Number 33, authorize the chairman to accept additional grant funds with the New York State Stop DWI Foundation and modifying the 21 budget for Stop DWI statewide crackdowns, high visibility enforcement. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mrs. Norelli. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Cunningham? Stepanski?
Yes.
Becker?
No.
Kavanaugh? Roberts? Maglioka? Corbin? Zupan? Walters? Moses?
Yes.
Jones?
Aye.
Walrod?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Goldstein?
yes,
De Veronica? Norelli? Bono? 1,138 ayes.
Carried.
Number 34, authorize the chairman to apply for a grant from the New York State Opportunity Canal Corporation. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Committee.
Mr. Chairman, move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution is made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion?
Yes. Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, I had a question about this. As far as our patrolling Oneida Lake, can you answer that for us? We don't, the county, the lake is not in our county apparently. And
No, it's Oneida County and Oswego County.
do you have, I know, unfortunately, the sheriff left. Is there, can you tell me what the patrol is?
I can't tell you what it is, other than they have a boat that we got through a grant. I think that's the only one on Oneida Lake. But then, don't they patrol Casanova Lake, Bill? They don't. The village patrols it. Well, if you want to put that one on hold, we can. You want to table it? Okay, motion to table, second? Second it, let's table.
Second.
Mr. Roberts.
That okay, Rock? You okay with that? Right, yep.
Resolution 35,
Hmm.
authorizing the chairman to approve and execute a settlement agreement relating to the opioid crisis. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
You didn't oppose?
What's that?
You didn't oppose.
No, I didn't oppose. Okay, what else?
You want to talk about the money, 6.7, if there's no questions on that.
Okay, first I got, before I forget, I got one public service announcement, and there's a couple of them that people need to be aware if they're putting their houses up for sale of scammers out there. There's an individual going around in the Lennox Sullivan, Oneida area, apparently offering people more money than they're putting their houses up for sale for. And he's locking them into a contract, and then they're hanging out there for quite some time. So folks, be aware. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to call an attorney or call somebody to ask the questions, a good realtor or your realtor, but don't just somebody walks in your front yard and offers you more money for your home than you're asking, sign the contract. Be aware of what you're signing. That's all. Does anybody else have anything before we get into other stuff? No? Okay. The $6.7 million, that's our first payment from the federal government. Does anybody have any questions on the schedule?
And just to clarify, this recommendation came out of Government Operations Committee, reviewed in GOC.
Do we have any plans for that, John? Do we have any future spend the money on?
Right here in front of you.
All of it.
Yeah, that's a sheet.
I just got it. If I got it earlier, I would have looked at it.
Yeah, that's the sheet.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm certainly in favor of this. I know we had discussed using this as a way to help the landfill get its equipment replacement schedule back on track. So.
Yeah, back on track, and it better stay on track. That's all I know. No pun intended.
Amy's in the back. She'll get it taken care of, right, Amy?
Yeah.
So we'll go down through this for members of the public that don't have this sheet. So facilities is 750,000. Planning is 200,000. It's going towards the Quazalone Creek Watershed District for ditch cleaning. Supervisor DeVeronica knows these ditches have not been cleaned since the 50s or 60s, and they're in dire need of being cleaned out to get the flats down by the muck strained for, mosquito reasons and for flood reasons. So money well spent on that project. Mental health, $20,000 towards our mental health study. Community paramedicine, 350,000. Social services, housing visions in Canastone and Bridgeport, 400,000. Emergency services, we've talked about the CAD system that is in dire need of upgrading, is $1 million. Information technology, $750,000. Highway department is $765,000. Our solid waste and landfill is $1.2 million. County clerk, DMV is $450,000. Public information, our PIO is $60,000. Finance, $20,000. Tourism is $100,000. They fell way short. We didn't have a lot of tourism in 2020, as everybody knows. Our business and restaurant aid, which we will be coming out again in September with another tranche of money to match folks that buy gift certificates or dinner out to a Madison County restaurant. All that totals up to $6.65 million, actually $6,650,980.
And there will be a resolution at the next board meeting by Cindy to take the money out of the accountants and now and set up lines to be able to track and pay for the stuff. And obviously, these are all just estimates, so some things can come in higher, some things can come in lower. We'll work that out.
So I have one question. What is the Housing Visions program? I just don't know what it is.
Mike could probably talk a little bit about it.
So as we've heard several times over the past couple of years, the housing stock in Madison County is pretty unaffordable and unsafe. And so we've had two developers come forward with plans to build housing in Madison County, both in Bridgeport and Canastota. And this money would seed those development projects. Oftentimes they need money up front for engineering, architect, whatever remediation. And this would help those developers up with those upfront costs. Bring those developments into those communities.
Okay. Okay, and we have two public comments that were copied onto us. One is voice of concern with the mask and possible vaccination mandates for children. My husband and I strongly believe this is a parental decision only. Douglas and Arlene Jarvis. And then we have is this the petition? A petition against mandating masks here in Madison County. Both of those will be on the record.
And just to clarify, the county's not mandating masks for schools. It's up to the schools to decide.
I know, Jim Cunningham heard me. And I heard him say he was talking to Eric. Okay, anybody else have anything for public session? Because we need to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters.
Yeah, or potential litigation.
Potential litigation. Motion by Mr. Moses, second by Ms. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Anybody that's not part of this needs to exit stage left on Zoom. Yeah, we'll have to ask Rob fix it.
Sure, if you wanna. You don't wanna, don't hang around. Yeah.
That. No. So, but you can request it. Yeah.
I just have a paranoid clerk. All I have to do is not add it. He writes. Jim said.
It still says we're live on YouTube.
And I'm trying to think of the first.
Thank you, Jim.